Gretchen Whitmer is taking her defense of abortion, LGBTQ rights directly to the red state. I follow her on Twitter only just to be a nuisance, to tweet something back to her, because she's always spouting these statistics about Michigan economy and defending women's health care rights, abortion rights, and all that stuff. I'm a pro-lifer. I feel like, okay, you take the necessary steps to whatever you want to take. I'm not one of those, hey, I'm going to picket the lines and talk about you or whatever. But I'm only saying this because Whitmer tweeted out, hey, we saved so many children because of the Michigan healthcare program. We saved premature death because of the Michigan healthcare. And she just tweeted this out. You're contradicting yourself. You're saying you saved all these babies from premature death, but then you want to protect abortion rights. What is it? Do you want to kill babies, or do you want to stop them from being killed? So you got these contradicting statements. What do you actually stand for? And then you're always saying, oh, you could come to Michigan. And she has several tweets out there saying, come to Michigan. You're in a protected space for the LGBTQ plus community. Nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. But should other people not feel safe because you're passing laws anti LGBTQ hate? You call it hate speech or an act of violence. If I say something to you and you say, oh, that's a threat of violence because I don't agree with whatever you're doing, that's an act of violence. You could get me for a hate crime because I don't like what you're doing and I speak up about it. So you're protecting LGBTQ, but what about all the straight people? What about heterosexual rights? Or we don't get no rights. We got enough rights. We don't get any more. Screw your rights. It's all about the LGBTQ. I'm just trying to figure out where this is coming from. But anyway, so she's been promoting her state as a place that respects freedom, as in the ability to control what happens to your body, who you love, or how you identify yourself. And now she's taking that message directly to some states where those freedoms are under assault. So last week, the MEDC launched a digital ad campaign touting that the state's committed to inclusiveness and personal liberty. Its target in a half dozen most southern states where Republicans are charged and have passed laws restricting abortion, LGBTQ plus rights, or both. This is a private partnership that works with the governor's office to boost in-state business in case by appealing high-skilled workers who tend to cherish those freedoms, along with companies that covered those workers as employees. So we have laws to protect LGBTQ. You can't discriminate from hiring these people. Okay, you can't. It's against the law. And if someone finds out, oh, you discriminated against them, you didn't want to hire them because they're part of this community, you can get sued. How you will prove that, I'm not for sure. But you're saying that companies that value LGBTQ, maybe Disney or something like that, she's trying to attract them to Michigan. Because what the problem is, you got downtown being reborn. Downtown is being reborn, and you have a lot of money coming into downtown. Particularly white people are coming into downtown, investing into downtown. You have some Black businesses that are thriving in the downtown area. But now and these are service-based businesses, transactional-based businesses, consumer-based businesses, and spend the money. So you got to find jobs. You're trying to attract people, but now you got to find jobs for these people. Because if you look up downtown area, the average income downtown or even in Detroit is like $29,000 a year. That's the average income. So that's not sustainable. You need people with higher income to come into your city to maintain Michigan GDP. And right now we don't have enough businesses to sustain that. So I think that's where she's getting at. And she put in quote, in Michigan, all are welcome and discover the benefits of living in the state that protects your rights. Okay, so she's touting that. But when you go liberal, you go broke. And I don't think a company is like, oh, we really value LGBTQ community so much so that they really want to deal with the riffraff. Just like Starbucks. Starbucks is a liberal company, but they said enough is enough. That's why they didn't allow them to put any pride signs up. Okay, we respect your right to be who you are, but we're not putting up no pride display. And then you see Target. Target is probably going to backtrack next year. They had to take down some displays anyway, but Target's going to backtrack because they see it's not even worth it. Because you can't just appease to one audience. You have to appease to everyone. So she's putting this out there saying, hey, if you value, LGBTQ rights, blah, 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 this is a safe space in Michigan. Michigan's a safe space. I don't know how far she's willing to go with this, but they spent about $30,000 in ads in Texas, Tennessee, South Carolina, and in Georgia, because they're trying to attract all the gay community in Michigan. So we could be maybe a Portland or San Francisco. That's the next thing, right? You let me know once you go down that path. I don't see no nice states that's saying, oh, we love the gays, blah, 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 and the crime ain't high. They have no structure. They got guns, violence, drugs. All this stuff is going on in those type of cities. Matter of fact, name me one city that have pride, that's operating in a manner that, oh, I would like to visit that city. That's not a liberal city or a liberal state. Like, oh, let me go there. Even Atlanta, me and my husband was talking about, oh, we should move to Atlanta. This was a few years ago. Not anymore. We would never move to. I said suburbs of Atlanta, maybe far off, maybe Savannah, Georgia. But that LGBTQ plus, it's an experiment that went wrong. It's nothing good that would come out of it. It's nothing against the LGBTQ plus community. I just don't think when you mix a lot of, oh, I'm trying to appease to a certain group of people and they're not being reasonable, you end up with unreasonable consequences. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that.